Zach Clayton of the PAC channel, and Jay Stoyan of the Disability channel. All of these we welcome their playing on our playing our shows on their platform. Yeah, I've said this before.
We got a tongue twister to start this story. This is how we get excited.
Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Jennifer to take it away.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Amy Varley Live. And here with us is Kelsey Arsenault, who is also a part of the secret organization and team. So we're going to turn it over to her. And I'd like to start this, Kelsey, with telling the listeners who you are and what you do, and how, and how that relates to Secret.
Absolutely. My name is Kelsey. As you've heard, it's so nice to be on this podcast today. So thank you for having me. I am on Amy Varley's team, the infamous Amy Varley, and I was invited on today. So I'm very grateful to be here. And I am, really thankful to be part of this team. I love the Secret products. I own a wellness center. It's called The Well Frequency. It's located in Prosper, Texas. And I carry the Secret products at my wellness center. And as you can imagine, owning a wellness center, there are a myriad of companies that ask me to carry their products and put them on my shelves. And we just made 3 years this month being open. And as you can imagine, I can't just put anything on my shelves. I have to be able to stand by the products. I have to be able to vouch for them. And Secret, they're the first products. They're the first supplements that I have ever carried and put on my shelves. And I can honestly say it was not a difficult decision to make. Once I tried them for myself and I was able to see how fantastic I felt, once I was able to see what a difference they made for me, I was very excited about putting them on the shelf and, being able to tell people how wonderful they were. There are so many people that I have seen, just the difference that they make. And, I was able to tell my mother about them. I was able to start, working with Dr. Cohn. I am a patient of his myself. And, I was able to just start telling my clients about them. One of my practitioners has even started, putting his patients on them. And I mean, we haven't looked back. And it has just been a wonderful ride. So it's very exciting. And I think now it's been about 3 months that the products have been on our shelves. So we're just getting started, but we're all very excited around here. So we've also started putting the cosmetic and skincare on the shelves as well. So our clients are also getting a taste of that. So, I mean, it's going to be a fun ride.
So I have a question. So you work with Secret, and those are the products that you use for your treatment. But what if listeners here are not in Texas, or I'm assuming the town you said is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So what if they're like with me in Houston or somewhere else? Do you do this modern day virtual treatment and then like have the medicine delivered by mail or something like that?
Yeah,
like, how is it with this pandemic stuff now?
Yeah, we're doing something really fun, even with the Secret products, because there is so much going on right now. And I came up with this really cute idea, right? Because people are so busy and people are so stressed right now. And we're doing something called a spa in a box, because we have so many friends that have birthdays, special occasions, even some things that happen that are stressing people out, right? And sometimes you just want to reach out. I'm the type of person, I still like to mail cards to my friends. I still like to mail notes to my friends. I like to get things in the mail that are not just bills. Am I the only one?
No way.
I'm serious.
Like that too. And I I'm an author, and
Me too.
when I first started writing, what I was doing was writing poetry that were the goodbyes to people in my family as they deceased, and I'd actually bury it with them. That was
See,
their love letter to take home with them in heaven.
yeah, it's nice to just put your hands on something tangible that's not just, an obligation, not just a bill. And so sometimes I'll just sit down and write something to somebody that'll make them smile. And so we started putting something together called a spot in the box. And so sometimes you don't like for me, it's a nail appointment or, going to, it's another chore. Sometimes it's another appointment, something else that you have to go to. So we have the spa in a box. And when it comes to a birthday, we even have all the birthday cards. We'll write the handwritten birthday message to them, whatever it is that you want us to say. We'll handwrite it for you, or if it's just a special occasion. But we put the stuff in the box for them. So they'll receive the secret mud soap, the secret face mask, all kinds of secret products. We have other products as well that you can choose to go in the spa in the box, but they will receive a branded spa box in the mail and open it, and it'll have Pamper Me products so that they can pamper themselves at home while they're relaxing. And it's just a way to love on themselves and be still and not have to leave the house. And that's a way for them to be able to try the secret products from the comfort of their own home.
Now, for those that aren't seeing this on like Zoom and they're just listening to the audio, it sounds like you're saying secret, like it's shh, it's a secret. So tell us about the website and what it actually is. It's not a secret, it's
secret, like SEA from the Dead Sea.
exactly.
And yes, secret. The minerals from the Dead Sea, the Dead Sea is 1,000 feet below sea level. And of the, 21 minerals at the Dead Sea, 10 of them are exclusive to the Dead Sea. So that's why you see so many celebrities go and take baths and slather the mud from the Dead Sea all over their bodies, because it's age defying, it's detoxifying, it's moisturizing, it's fabulous for your skin. There are so many healing properties in the minerals and in the mud. It does wonders for the skin. So the fact that, you don't have to get on a plane and travel to Israel, that we have these products, you're able to buy, the body mud and the mineral soap and the facial soap and the shampoo, Secret, SEACRET. The fact that we have these products and you don't have to get on a plane, we have these products that you can purchase and get the same wonderful benefit. It's just amazing.
So the website is SEACRET direct.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
/ Amy Varley.
Yes.
/ Amy Varley.
And Varley is V as in Victor, ARLEY.
Right. Yes.
Okay,
So,
just want to make sure
if you
those that were
listening-
just listening could follow along on that.
Right, totally. So, Miss Kelsey, are you a skin doctor, or because I know a lot of the secret direct products that you use have to do with the skin and the outer aspect of our body versus like brain or anything else that's internal.
I'm not a skin doctor. I'm not a doctor at all. No, I just love the products.
So what aspect of health does your wellness clinic focus on?
So I'm not a doctor at all. I'm just a hub for people with specialties. So basically I have a chiropractor here, and I'll say nothing here is typical or normal. And I did I like out of the box. I don't want anything here that you can find.
Those are the best.
Yeah. Now I
So
don't
you're an
want
advocate more. You're not a doctor, you're an advocate, a
exactly. And
wellness advocate. Okay.
I do the research to find the atypical stuff, the stuff that you can't just find anywhere, right? And then I want to put it all in one place, right? So basically, I have a zone chiropractor here. Zone chiropractic care basically means that it's not all just about adjustments and joints. When people have internal issues, digestive issues, issues with the endocrine system, all of the systems in the body, he will basically find there are 5 points here behind the ear, and he can find basically with 5 points here, he can figure out which system in the body is off and then do adjustments and reset those internal systems. It's really quite captivating and interesting.
Man, somebody needs to fly me there then. I
I'm
have
telling
some
you.
issues.
Now, where are you?
Houston, Texas.
That's right, Houston, you said that. And then I have a nurse here. She does bioresonance. And so she can, with the frequency will reveal what's ailing the body, what's going on with the body. And then I have a sports therapist here who deals with chronic pain and limited mobility. So that's not only with athletes, that is with anybody, who sometimes doctors will say they need surgery or they need some other type of shot or some other type of invasive therapy. And there have been people who have come and they haven't been able to lift their shoulder past here in 10 years, and then they leave and they're just like, so we have all kinds of modalities that are amazing.
I've seen sometimes what they call sports masseuse. They can even massage injuries out of people.
That's true.
And like there's one of those I see at my gym, because they have like a spa where you get your nails and who knows what else, your hair and all that stuff done in addition to a massage. And anyways, I have basically everything there in my gym. But I see one specific masseuse who's a sports recovery masseuse. And I don't know how this correlates with the sports person you're talking about in your clinic, but it's not the typical, like he actually can massage certain areas in certain ways and it provides long-term relief. Like he said, at certain points he had to adjust certain nerves in the back of my back, in my upper back that's near the lower neck. And when he adjusted it, he said he basically got it out where a certain nerve had moved. It was being pinched by a joint nearby, and that was why I had neck pain.
Yeah. Certain things can be, out of alignment or, a recurring injury. It's amazing the things that they can do. And there are so many things that are invasive that you can avoid. And there's PEMF therapy. There are so many things that we can do and that can help our bodies actually heal themselves. And it's just kind of mind-blowing. It's really mind-blowing. I have a hydration therapy here. I have one of only 2 machines in our country here that's from Denmark, and it hydrates you at a cellular level and raises the body's frequency. That's here. I have a masseuse here that's coming on board that does lymphatic massages, every massage that you can think of. She works great in tandem with the chiro and the sports therapist. So it's just a one-stop shop, for wellness. And then just having the supplements, the secret supplements, it was just the perfect complement just for total body wellness, because we want people to
do you basically
inside out.
All these treatment methods you give, that's not you personally, but these other people you're talking about within your organization, is it basically like they use it where it's whatever treatment based on if it's the chiropractor or the sports masseuse or whatever, that's where they use it in conjunction with having the patient take some kind of secret product? Like how does that work with secret, and telling our listeners about secret and It's wonders. That's why people like you that have even a clinic want to focus on the use of those as opposed to, say, traditional medicine.
Well, because, we find, and, we respect everyone, and we know that, with traditional medicine, everyone has their lane, right? Um, we respect everyone, but we find that a lot of times, in traditional medicine, people will put a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. A lot of times people, their symptoms will be being treated instead of finding the root cause and dealing with that. Whereas what we want to find is, why do you have this issue? And we want that to be eradicated. We don't want to figure out what's going on and then treat the symptom and then you be on medication for the rest of your life. We don't want you to be on
So,
medication for the
so
rest of your life.
is secret products the way that you treat those roots once you figure them out?
Yes, because Dr. Cohn feels that once you get the body healthy, we can allow the body to operate the way God intended for it to operate, and God intended for the body to be able to heal itself. He doesn't really believe that the body is supposed to be on medication or supplements forever, for the rest of your life. And so his thing is, and if anyone ever makes an appointment with him, he specializes in figuring out what was going on with the body and with the emotions, where this illness was able to attach itself to it in the first place. And then let's deal with that. And then what habits do you have where this illness can come into agreement with the body? Now, the reason a lot of us will continue to take supplements is because there are some habits that we have that we don't want to get rid of. Some of us don't want to stop drinking coffee. And we know that caffeine is not the best for our bodies, but it's not something that we want to get rid of. So he says, okay, no problem. So that's why we need to take booster at night. And that's why we need the recovery during the day, because we want to take something that kind of offsets the effects of that caffeine, or we want to take something that offsets the effect of the sugar, that we eat. Because
Wait, is booster one that's supposed to help you relax? Because the name makes it sound like picks you up.
No, booster actually resets the body while you sleep, and it alkalizes the body as well. So a lot of our diets create, our diets are too acidic, and booster actually reverses the effect of our acidic diet. So it resets the body and it counteracts the acidic diet. So caffeine is very acidic, sugar is very acidic. And so you want something that counteracts the diets that we have that actually antagonize our bodies. And so booster does that, recovery does that. And so it's basically a biohack. And it offsets the damage that our diets do to our bodies.
So it sounds like what's probably a good chunk of Americans, among other people that could be listening to the show now or at a later date, are a market, because, I mean, do you know how common acid reflux is?
Right.
I mean, it's GERD, really, GERD, but technically what we define as acid reflux is the symptom, but it's exactly what you're talking about, which is too much acidic things in the diet, consumptions.
Yeah.
Like personally, I have acid reflux, but my doctor basically said I can't really have a low acid diet. And it's not because of coffee. It's because I have a low sodium condition. So I have to consume extreme amounts of salt to keep my low salt levels in the good.
Mm-hmm.
And salt is an acid.
Yeah.
So I can say no tomatoes or whatever other stuff that's acidic, but if it's salt, if it's a high salt food, that's especially when it's also high protein, like say the canned sardines or something, I have to consume it in large amounts.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's say tomatoes or something else that, they're high acid, but they don't feed the protein part, then I can eliminate them. But I mean, my condition with low sodium is very rare and almost unheard of in the US. I mean, people even ask me, are you sure it's low? I think it's high. And I'm like, no. You don't go through what I do, where I actually go unconscious at times.
Yeah, yeah. That's so interesting because you're only the second person that I've met with that condition. I have another friend that actually had that condition. And but our lifestyles are centered around, going out or having a good time, food. And the reality is, even though a lot of us, and you're an exception, but a lot of us, we know what to do, but we may not want to do it, and Dr. Cohn is one of them. He says coffee is just not something that I want to give up. I want it.
Well,
I want
see,
it.
and personally, I've told people, I said, it's kind of funny that my doctor has to tell me all these things that are bad for us. He tells me I need more of, which is sugar, salt, carbohydrates, because I've been that health conscious for so many years of my life. I mean, I even remember as a kid, my dad would be like at Christmas or my birthday, here, let's make you a cake. And I'm like, I don't like sweets. I don't want to eat sweets. I don't want to put on the weight, or I don't want to be fatigued, because like personally, sugar makes me very tired. I immediately crash after. I don't even get the hyper or anything. And my dad would be like, oh, just treat yourself one time. And I would get my little sister, who has a really strong sweet tooth, and I'd be like, okay, I'll only eat it if I can share it with my little sister.
Mhm.
So my dad convinced me to do that. But how many kids or even adults in what's probably your and my generation, Kelsey, that we actually have to try to convince to eat sweets or convince to eat carbs?
Yes.
And everything else is where I'm saying, like, I've always been healthy and conscientious of the bad stuff, and I eat a lot of vegetables, fruit with peanut butter or nuts and seeds. Mixes are like trail mix, but they're like with the nuts and seeds instead of the M&Ms and all. I mean, and proteinless meat.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's something. So, I mean, I'm just amazed, and I'm grateful. And it's not one of those things that you do blindly. You know how people will say, oh, just take the supplements. Oh, just try them. And you just know that it's working, but you don't feel any better, but just know that it's working. It's not one of those things.
But if you don't feel any better, the key is you don't really know.
Right. His supplements, you take them and you feel better. Like you actually feel better. You actually
you really do. When I first met Amy back in February of this year, we were in a networking event. And we first started talking about my writing services and a book she wanted written that she had started. And anyway, so that was just the whole start of our relationship. And somewhere in the deal, she asked if I'd be interested in her products, which were Secret Direct. And I was like, well, I said, hey, we may be able to barter here, depending upon if, what are the products you have, and if I see any that are of interest or possible benefit to me. So she sent me an electric, like it was an email form of a like catalog sort of thing. And then I met with her and I asked her about certain ones. And anyways, it turned out that she recommended recovery for me because I had brain surgery back in 2020. And one of the long-term side effects of my brain surgery was basically fogginess, like this brain fog.
Mhm.
And it was because I don't have an entire brain anymore. I only have a certain fraction of a brain. And so those missing parts were the cause, like removing them was the cause that I couldn't even be fully alert. So she had me take recovery. And by May I was like, I don't even need this recovery anymore because I don't have brain fog anymore.
That's amazing. Yes, that's amazing.
So it's not that it was so to say controlling it, but there's like you said of recovering it. That's why, unlike you say traditional medicine, you stop taking it and you don't feel as good because of whatever reason you were taking it, and that certain condition makes you feel bad because you don't have the treatment. This is like I stopped taking it and I didn't go back to brain fog. I stayed clear minded and I
Mhm.
had more energy. Uh, that I don't even know what's the science behind it, but somehow that recovery supplement, taking it 3 times a day for the 2 or 3 months, how long that was February to May, and I was back to the full potential, and I was motivated to get going with business and all kinds of other things because here I'm like, yeah, I got my working ability back. I'm
That's
back
ama-
to it. Now let's get nailed with my next business.
that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. And I was having some upper GI discomfort, and I didn't know what the deal was. And Amy just gave me some probiotics. She gave me a box, and she was coming to my wellness center for a completely different reason. And she gave me some probiotics, and I just had them sitting at home, just ignoring them. And I think one day I was just uncomfortable enough. And I said, I'll just try. Let me just try them. I was just, you just get to the point where you're just like, I'll try anything. And you just pour these in your mouth. You don't need water or anything. And I just noticed I was not sick after that. And then I just started trying them every day. And then I noticed I was not sick when I would try these. And it was a game changer for me. So this was the first thing I tried. And I was just so grateful. And then it was after that I said, well, maybe there's something to these things. Let me, let there be something to this. And so then it was after that that I wanted to try the whole nutrition set to kind of like reset my body. And so
But the
that's where,
probiotics was for nausea, as far as what you experienced, right?
for me, yeah, because I was dealing with like just a whole, I don't want to TMI, but I was dealing with, constipation, diarrhea. I mean, I was two ends of the spectrum. It
Oh,
was crazy. Yeah.
see, I was wondering because the probiotics for me helped in my IBS-C.
Yeah. I mean, I was dealing with nausea 1 minute, constipation, like it was nuts. So,
See, and I used it for what was irritable bowel syndrome, and my type is constipation. So, for me, constipation is an everyday problem that some people take it for granted, the fact that they can even go bathroom.
yeah, I'm serious. And I couldn't, I was either at one end of the spectrum or the other. And then I had a doctor, she was telling me to take something that sounded a bit too chemically for me. And I said, I just want to kind of stick to something natural. And then she recommended a vegetable laxative. And then I tried that. And I'm like, even with the vegetable laxative, I was still constipated. And I said, okay, why am I still constipated with the vegetable laxative? And before that, I had always been regular. So something was going on. And I know that they always say, you know, gut health is essential for regular health. If your gut is not healthy, you're not healthy. So I was at my wit's end, and this changed everything for me. And I know it's a prebiotic and a probiotic. And so I was just really thankful, like I said. And then when I tried the full nutritional supplement line, I noticed that even when the Digestex, I would get hungry after eating. Like 2 hours later, I would be hungry. So I said, I think my metabolism has awakened, because I was the type I would not get hungry very often. And so I'm noticing if 2 hours after I eat, I'm hungry, I said, okay, so my digestive system is working again. And, with Digestex, it teaches your body how to digest food again and how to pull nutrients from your food. So I knew about, after a week and a half, when I noticed I would be getting hungry again after a meal, I knew that was working. That's what I'm saying. You're not taking these things blindly. Um, And then when I was started taking the shake and the greens in the morning, I remember my first time after about a week and a half, I forgot. I was rushing in the morning and I didn't drink my shake. And then that night I was craving it. And I remember I told my mother, I said, I know I'm not craving a protein shake. Like, I'm not craving the taste of a protein shake. So my body must be craving whatever the protein shake is giving me, because I was craving it at night. I had to have
That's
it.
true. Because if you think about it, like, okay, so a lot of women, especially more than men, crave chocolate. But certain family members of mine work in healthcare, like nurses and physical therapists and other, healthcare related professionals. And some of them have told me that if you crave chocolate, it's because your body is short on magnesium. It's not that you actually need to eat candy like the sugar or the cocoa.
Mhm.
It's that you need magnesium. And so whether you take a magnesium supplement or you go find a better food that's nutritious, like a vegetable or fruit that has magnesium, that still it's a sign of a shortage of some kind of
Some
a
deficiency.
nutrition.
Yeah.
But in itself doesn't make you crave what's the correct, because like supposedly I've looked at chocolate, a candy bar, like whether it's Hershey's or whatever, they only have 2% magnesium. So however it is that our brain says chocolate's what we need magnesium, it actually doesn't even have that much,
Mhm.
but just enough to make us crave it if we need magnesium.
Not interesting. I remember Cohn speaking once, and he said, stop beating yourself up when you crave chocolate and potato chips, because it's a real thing. There's a real reason your body will crave the sugar and the salt. It's a biological response to something. I can't remember what it was, but he said,
So I read this weekend, I'm very nerdy. I read just for fun. I even do research for fun.
I love
But I
that.
read that sugar causes, and this is really carbohydrates in general, which is why potato chips have a different type of carb than sugar, but it's still carbohydrates, whether it's sugar or the other kind. They all fall under carbohydrates. So both of those are carbohydrates, and carbs cause the brain to produce serotonin and dopamine that are the natural happy pill that your brain produces even in healthier ways, which are response to exercise
Mm.
or response to exposure to nature that makes you relax and feel better, or other things that are the better way to increase the production of dopamine and serotonin versus sweets and carbohydrates, whichever kind of carbohydrates, do it in an unhealthy way that costs you other health issues because of so much sugar or so much bread or so much whatever else that has to do with the type of carbohydrate you eat, and that causing issues with your organs and your blood sugar and who knows what else in health. So you don't want to exchange stress for a weight problem. It's one way to put it, which is why then again it's better to exercise if you feel that craving, or to go get exposed to nature, sitting on like my community has lakes in it. I mean, they're man-made lakes, but like I could walk down the street to one of them or the man-made river and look out at them with all these overgrown trees as a way to do it for myself when I crave something sweet. Okay, we'll go walk over to that lake on the other street in my community. Or go to a park that has a lake, or because like I don't drive, but for people that do drive, they could even say go to a park, whether it's a state park or it's something in the community that's a playground.
Yeah, yeah. And again, honestly, it's another case of, do the right thing, and hopefully we do the right thing, or take curb, right? And so it's another one of those things where we were able to curb our sugar and salt cravings. And so there's just, I just so appreciate these. Oh my gosh. I so appreciate these biohacks, um, they've just made a tremendous difference. And they're just really great.
Well, I know you said, oh my gosh, are you about to have another appointment?
No, no, something that my mind,
Oh, okay.
1,000 miles a minute. But yeah. Um, so it's been a really great, like I said, it's been a really great ride. And I'm just excited about more and more people um just learning about them and being
Yeah.
exposed to them.
Yeah, it's something that we need to get out there, like let people
Absolutely.
know about Secret Direct, SEACRET as in Tom,
Yes.
direct.com
Yes.
/Amy Varley,
Yes.
because it is really wonders ready to make you better and not just to treat the symptom like you were saying.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, because like where you're talking about the digestive stuff, she had Amy had told me to try the not Proton, it's probiotics, and it I already eat a lot, but also they said I don't eat sweets or carbohydrates, I don't eat bread, I don't eat a lot of stuff like that's bad for you.
Mhm.
So, my mom says is that my system, the energy doesn't last long
Mm.
because, carbohydrates expand how long the energy lasts. And I have a low carb diet.
Okay.
And so that's what my mom says I eat so often. But like with the digestive one, and the probiotics, like with me, I was eating all the time and I was like, oh my gosh, now I'm panicked about gaining weight. But you were right that, like with my case, mine is constipation. So I was also going more regularly. And I was also having lower anxiety because personally, when I am constipated, I get gassy and then I get very uncomfortable and kind of anxious that people are judging me because I'm making the room stink. And I mean, that's how that making my digestion better made my mental health better.
That's true. Wow. Yeah. 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 And another thing I noticed too, I'm not a morning person. I
Me
tell
neither.
people all the time, I come alive at night. That is my creative space, and
It
so
is. It
it
is.
just is. That's how I am. I'm a night owl. And so, but I have to wake up in the morning. I gotta do stuff, but I'm groggy in the morning. It's just, it is what it is. And so what I've noticed, my mornings are a lot better with Booster. I sleep a lot. I don't have problems falling asleep, but I sleep more soundly with Booster. And I notice since I've started taking Booster, I wake up before my alarm clock wakes me up. And then I'm not as
Interesting.
groggy. Yeah, and I'm not groggy in the morning. Now, during those nights where I pass out and I don't take my supplements before bed, I wake up groggy if I don't have my booster. And then that's when I'm dragging in the morning. But if I have my booster, I'm not dragging.
Sounds like I
So,
need to get this booster then because I have insomnia. The mine is caused by my low sodium condition.
mm,
And I take a prescription, as you can guess, for sleep. That's one that's sedative and puts me to sleep. But once it puts me to sleep, I stay asleep all night.
mhm,
And often I wake up in the same position I fell asleep in.
uh-huh.
So that's how um peaceful of a sleeper I am. But at the same time, like you're saying, I wake up groggy. And I'm a night owl like you. So I make it where 10 a.m. to 12, like the late morning, is when I go to the gym. And I don't really start my job until, whether it's like this podcast at 12 Central or it's something else that's at 1 or later. But still, that it's midday, that's after that workout, that I actually get my work stuff going. Because I can't function mentally and I can hardly physically function, but I do enough to make that exercise help me get going for the work day. But to then again create the serotonin and dopamine that's a better way than sugar.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
some people would say, okay, I don't have energy, so I'm going to eat some sugar, and then, hyper, and I'm like, no, that puts me to sleep. So
Yeah.
of course I'm not going to do it in the morning if I do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're actually in physical movement, like this machine I like at the gym called the Octane, you're doing like this with your arms while your feet are doing a circle of pedaling. When it gets your body moving, it actually kind of boosts the energy too. And a lot of people believe to go into the gym only make them more exhausted because they're already exhausted. That goes to why what you're saying about so many rely on caffeine, regardless of what the doctor says. But that's actually a natural way. I mean, not natural all the way, but getting on the machine, even if it's a bicycle in your neighborhood, with some kind of exercising, is the healthier way to create energy.
Yeah.
And since it creates energy, that's why it's better to do it in the morning than to do it after work and then be back at what was the original issues, sleeping.
Exactly. So true.
EJ, how are we doing on time?
I was just coming on to say, it sounds like we're wrapping things up a little bit. We're at about 42 minutes, so that's about right.
All righty then. And how about Miss Kelsey? Why don't you let listeners know who you are and what's your website as a reminder of if they want to learn more about you, where to go.
Well, we'd love to
if they want to contact you, any of that.
We'd love to have you. Anyone that has been a guest on this podcast, I would love to gift you a free NEO session. NEO stands for Natural Energy Optimization. So if you are interested in raising your body's frequency and being hydrated at a cellular level, come on in. Just say you've been a guest on this podcast, and we will gift you a complimentary NEO session. It's 52 minutes. You just come in. It's like a touchless spa. You recline in a chair and just mention this podcast, and we'll gift you a NEO session. And we are located at 1061 North Coleman Street in Prosper, Texas. Our name is The Well Frequency. Our website is www.thewellfrequencyprosper.com. And on Facebook, we are The Well Frequency Prosper. On Instagram, we are The Well Frequency Prosper. TikTok, we're The Well Frequency Prosper. LinkedIn, we are The Well Frequency Prosper. We're in Google, The Well Frequency Prosper. And our phone number is 469-681. No, 469-481-6568. And I mean, we would just love to have you come in, see what we're all about, and let us love on you. Come relax. We have so many goodies here. And yes, just you'll have a time. Just a lot of fun stuff here. More than I can explain. And some things really can't be explained. You just have to come and experience it. So we'd love to have you.
Will you remind them your phone number since you made a mistake? Let's make sure they understand what's your accurate phone number.
The phone number is 469-481-6568. That's 469-481-6568. Website www.thewellfrequencyprosper.com. wellfrequencyprosper.com.
Excellent.
And thank
Great.
you, Miss Kelsey. And to all listeners, if you want to check out the products we're talking about, there's, of course, the Well Frequency Prosper as a place to get treated where they have secret direct products, or there's where you can order it online. They go into SEACRET as in Tom direct.com/Amy Varley. V as in Victor, ARLEY. That's how you spell Varley in Amy Varley. And as maybe you may know, this is Amy Varley Live show, but we periodically have fill-ins for Amy, as she is a very busy public speaker with all kinds of conferences every left and right. And she's hard to catch, but worth catching. And it sounds like Kelsey here is as well, with the Well Frequency Prosper. Hard to catch, worth to catch. So just find the time and go on both of these websites. And for now, it's back to you, EJ.
Thank you. I hope everybody got a wealth of information from our guest, Miss Kelsey. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our social media channels with Jaws Coffee Chat, or on any of the platforms that are airing our shows with Lawrence Wingate of Wingate TV, Marcus Hart of Transform U Media, Zach Clayton of the PAC Channel, and Jay Stoyan of the Disability Channel. We so appreciate their broadcasting our shows. Join us again next month. I believe it's August 25th for another Amy Varley Live. Any last words, Jennifer?
Thank you, everybody, for following us. Be sure to mark your calendar on when each of our shows are, so you can be here, listen, whether you watch live or you listen after we upload them each month.
And be on the lookout for new information on our Patreon location. Patreon. I don't know whether it's Patreon, I don't know how you pronounce it. But that'll be coming out soon.
For those of you who are wondering what's the big deal about Patreon versus Patreon, it's a site where those of you who are fans of our shows, whichever show you love, whichever others you want to recommend, that Patreon is a way that you can financially support us to ensure that we continue to produce shows and podcasts for your entertainment as well as educational wellness.
All right, so be on the lookout for that. And until we see you next time, August 25th, we wish you a productive and enjoyable week and month. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.